dive into some controversial chants in history. These chants actually are still ongoing in both countries. In South Africa, we have a political party called EFF that chants "Kill the Boer, kill the farmer." Um, in Iran, we have the Iranians, or we can say the IRGC, that also chants "Death to America." So I'm going to just play the videos from the horse's mouth. I think it's better sometimes to learn things from the people who do those things, unlike when you learn things from, what can I say, from hearsays. So now here I'm going to play a video from the Ayatollah. I'm going to start with the American one, the Ayatollah Khamenei, Ali Khamenei. So we are going to learn from the Ayatollah who was martyred on the first day of the USA war against Iran. Remember, he was martyred on the first day of the war. I think on the 28th of, wait, he was martyred on the 28th of February, going to March. Wait, let me play this video of the Ayatollah. So, like I said, I'm going to explain, not explain, I'm not here to explain anything. I'm just here to learn why do these people chant these uncommon chants. So I'm going to start with the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. So the Ayatollah is going to explain why death to America. What does it mean? What is the context behind? What is the history behind? So I'm going to start playing this video from the Ayatollah himself. So the first thing that he said is that the Americans complain. I'm just reading a translation. The Americans complain, why do we chant death to America? This is the Ayatollah. Wait, I can even show you the video just briefly, just to show you that I am watching the Ayatollah explaining what it means by death to America. So the first thing that he said was, hello, 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 hello. So the first thing that he said was he's trying to explain, like, okay, so I'm going to just listen to the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and understand why Iranians keep chanting death to America. Like I said, it is better to learn these things and to understand these things from the horse's mouth, because when people talk about many things nowadays, they don't reference the context as to like where are these things coming from, why are these people saying these things, or why are these people behaving in this manner, so now let's just learn from the Ayatollah. He said, let me explain. He's explaining now. So according to the Ayatollah, death to America means death to Trump, John Bolton, and Mike Pompeo. So basically, death to America, according to him, it means death to the American rulers. So this is according to the Ayatollah. Death to America means death to the rulers of America. So he then explains that we have no problems with the American people. So, meaning that the chant has nothing to do with the citizens of the United States, but it is directed to towards the rulers of America. And then he emphasizes again that death to America is about the rulers of America. He says it's about the group of people who are currently in charge. Am I against America? How can I be against a nation? Who am I to be against? You cannot be against a nation. Even the Ayatollah is saying it here that he's not against the American people. How can you be against a nation? No one can ever be against a nation. He was very specific. He said it himself. You want me to repeat? Let me repeat what he said. What death to America means. He said death to America means death to, let's see. So according to him, death to America. Wait, I need to fast forward. So death to America means death to Trump, John Bolton, and Mike Pompeo. So Islam wants to conquer the world. Islam has conquered your people and enslaved them, yet you still listen to them. You know, just to be clear or to break it down to you, I am from South Africa. In South Africa, there is no history that says South Africans were enslaved by Islam or Islamic people or Islam, which is Islam is a religion, by the way, Muslims. So South Africa does not have a history of being enslaved by Muslim. In fact, South Africans have a history of being enslaved and genocided by the British and the Dutch. So that is my history. So unless if you are referring to another part of South Africa, Africa in general, explain to me how and when did the Muslims enslave and when did the Muslims enslave and genocide Africans? When? I would like to know that because my history is clear, and even the perpetrators, I would say so, they don't deny that we are the one who colonized this country, and they are the British and the Dutch. So I don't know. Look, today, look at what's happening in Nigeria. So Nigeria is a different part of Africa. Nigeria doesn't represent Africa. Nigeria is Nigeria. They don't represent Africa. They don't. And again, Somalia is not South Africa. The history of Nigeria and the history of South Africa and the history of Somalia are not the same. How so? The last time I checked, Nigeria is still a democratic country. They will come for you. They will come for you soon. Let me tell you something, right? I don't know if that is true or not, but times have changed, right? Times have changed. We're not living in the old days where people will just come to your country with guns, and you didn't have guns. You were using what do we call arrows. You understand? Times have changed. You need to understand that times have changed. The same weapons that these people you are saying are trying to conquer the world, the same weapons they have, even other people have those weapons. So the times have changed. You cannot live in fear that, oh, some people are going to come and take over us. No. If only if the government sells you out, maybe that can happen. But then even so, it depends on the people. Africans are not the same. There are Africans who are willing to die for their countries, and the Africans who are willing to shy away from their problems. Africans are not the same. Africans are not the same. You need to understand that they are not the same. So now let's go back to death to America means death to Trump, to John Bolton, and Mike Pompeo. It has nothing to do with the American people. This is what the Ayatollah is saying. مرگ بر آمریکا یعنی مرگ بر شما چند تایی که گروهی که دارید اداره میکنید کشورتون رو. مراد اینه. در این دوره اینان، در دوره دیگر هم دیگران. بحث ملت آمریکا نیست. ثانیاً تا وقتی که And then he emphasizes that there will be others when the next term of office begins. Do you know what this means? It means that it doesn't matter who the leader of America is, they will always go after Iran. We will talk about why does the American government always target Iran later. Because I have done some research and I was very curious also because I do watch Trump's interview when he's asked why did you wage this war against Iran. Trump always says the same thing, and he even his the secretary, what is it, Rubio also reiterate the same thing. Hex said like the administration under Trump, they all say the same thing that we waged this war against Iran because we don't want Iran to have the nuclear weapon, which is very interesting, right? It is very interesting because I did some research here. So I asked, um, how many countries have nuclear weapons? Right? This is the question that I asked Google. Just to be short, just to be clear. So the results that I got from Google was as of 2026, there are 9 countries that are known to possess nuclear weapons. We have the United States. So the United States is the country that doesn't want Iran to have the nuclear weapon, but it has the nuclear weapon. I don't understand that logic there. You have the nuclear weapon, you don't want another country to have the nuclear weapon. Why? The second country with the nuclear weapon, we have Russia, we have China, we have France, we have the United Kingdom, we have India, we have Pakistan, we have North Korea, we have Israel. So accordingly, as of now, these are the only countries with the nuclear weapon. Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon yet. It doesn't. So now you ask yourself this question, right? How can a country without a nuclear weapon pose a danger more than countries with nuclear weapons? Because we have Israel. Israel has a nuclear weapon. We have Pakistan, we have North Korea, we have India, we have the United Kingdom, we have France, we have China, we have Russia, we have the United States. These are the countries with the nuclear weapons. Not Iran. Iran doesn't possess a nuclear weapon right now. It doesn't. It doesn't. But according to the American administration, government, like it's not even under the Trump's administration. Biden did the same thing. What is his name? Obama did the same thing, and many other presidents, they did the same thing. They all went after Iran. All the American presidents went after Iran. I think there's only one president who never went after Iran. But all the American presidents, they've all went after Iran. All of them. And their reasoning is the same. We don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. But then why don't you fight countries that already have the nuclear weapon? Like there is no logic there. But okay, anyways, let's continue with what the Ayatollah is saying.
دولت آمریکا و رژیم آمریکا همین شرارت، همین دخالت، همین خباثت، همین رذالت.
So the Ayatollah continues and says, as long as the American rulers stop they don't stop terrorizing them, they will not abandon death to America. Hello, Lincoln. How are you? So this is what the Ayatollah is saying, that as long as the rulers, the leaders of the United States don't abandon, or they don't stop terrorizing Iran, the Iranian people will not stop chanting death to America. This is what the Ayatollah is saying.
در اعمال خودش داره این مرگ بر آمریکا از دهان ملت ایران نخواهد افتاد. من توصیم اینه که به اروپایی‌ها اعتماد نکنه.
So he then said that I recommend that one should not trust the Europeans just as the Americans. Oh, like the terrorists of the world. I think, I will make a live about this one. It's a very uh interesting topic, because there are many um I would say speculations or facts out there, because some people, they say the US tend to fund groups of terrorists or create them. Some people, they tend to say Israel also. There are people who have connected the dots of the Hamas. There are people who are saying that Israel created the Hamas. So we will do a separate video about that, to dig into. Yes. We will do a history of that, to dig into, actually, like talk or reveal the real terrorists of the world. I will do that. So yeah, I will do that. I will do it separately. I will do it separately. Probably it will be the next video. It's a quite interesting topic, because nowadays is like, these people are terrorists, but it's like nobody really knows why they are called terrorists, especially people like Iran. Because I also did some investigation, right, because I needed to understand more about Iran. For example, I asked Google again, like, how many times did Iran attack the United States on their soil? I didn't get any feedback on that one. The Google glitched. But then I asked Google the opposite question. How many times did the United States attack Iran? So I'm going to read this for you. So here we have the relationship between the United States and Iran, right? We start here. Why does the US attack or pressure Iran? So this is from, oh, wait, not this one, not this one. How many times? How many times? Children also, which is horrible. How many times has America attacked Iran? So this is the feedback, right? The feedback reads, there is no single agreed number because it depends on what counts as an attack. So we have the covert operations, we have the sanctions, we have the cyber attacks, we have assassinations, we have airstrikes, we have naval clashes, we have the proxy conflicts. So some major direct confrontation includes. So this is the amount of time the United States or America has attacked Iran. From 1953, CIA backed coup in Iran. 1980s, naval clashes during the Tank War. 1988, US destruction of Iranian naval assets in Operation Praying Mantis. The 2020 US drone strike and killed Iranian General uh, Soleimani in Iraq. Later strikes on Iranian linked forces and facilities, again, including this year, 2026, the 28th of February, right? So these are the amount of times America has attacked Iran. But we don't have any data that shows that Iran has attacked America. Very interesting, right? It is quite interesting. We don't. There is no data that says Iran has attacked America. There isn't. How my heart. Please forgive me. I'm just contributing from how my heart is free. No, you are free to express your emotions or how you feel. You're free. You are free. So now I will continue to
در مورد آمریکا من از
the Ayatollah.
پیش که این بحث‌های مذاکرات
Oh, wait.
مربوط هست 2 سال پیش.
So my advice when we were in negotiations, so this is the Ayatollah teaching his people about the relationships of Iran and America. My advice, thank you to Lincoln. My advice when we were in negotiations with the Americans 2 or 3 years ago over the nuclear issue was that they cannot be trusted. I said this in private and in public forums and during my speeches. I said they cannot be trusted in what they say, in the promises they make. And to be quite honest, here I do agree with the Ayatollah, to be quite honest. The American, I don't know, I want to just focus on the Trump administration, right? These people, they contradict themselves daily, like they contradict themselves. They say, the Iranian war, it went from the Minab children getting killed, those 240 something children getting killed. And then when I watch the Congress, they keep, this is what's interesting. The intelligence of America are claiming that there was or there is an IRGC base near the Minab school where they killed the children. So according to them, their justification for killing the children is that there is an apparent military base near the school. This is what the intelligence is saying in the Congress. You can pull the video and see the video on your own. That is their justification for killing the children in Iran, that there was a military base next to the school or under the school or wherever. But then the congressman, he said, I don't believe what you're saying. He said that to the intelligence, like straight in their eyes, that I don't believe what you're saying. He said that, I don't believe what you're saying. He said that, the congressman, he said to the intelligence that I don't believe what you're saying. I do not believe. Give me the evidence. Give us the proof. Because you cannot say there is a military and then you don't show evidence. It's not about speculation. Give us the evidence. Show us that there was a military there and that this was a casualty. They cannot produce the evidence yet. We will see how it goes. They keep saying it's either they say there was a military near the school, or they will say something like it is still under investigation. This is what the intelligence in America say. So when the Ayatollah say the American government or leaders cannot be trusted, I do get what he's saying. And not even about that, right? Look at how this war unfolded. So first America attacked, right? And then when they attacked, so I don't know how Iran realized that they could use the Strait of Hormuz as a leverage. I don't know how they kind of realized, but I think maybe they realized because the likes of Trump, they're brazen. They say everything out loud that they are going to take over the Karg Island. They are going to take over the Strait of Hormuz. Maybe that is what made them realize that, but then I'm not sure about this. But I don't know where they came up with this brilliant idea of blocking or closing the Strait of Hormuz. That was a very, very smart idea or a smart move from Iran, because they understood that by doing so, not only will it affect Iran, but it will affect the whole world, and it will wake the whole world to actually realize what is happening in the world. Because as you can see today, many people are coming to terms to what's actually happening and not what has been propaganded for years. Because that's what's happening today. Many people are, because you look at the American biggest um, podcasters or journalists, right? For years and years and years, they've been pro-Israel, but that pro-Israel, like it has declined, like drastically. It has declined. You see that people like Tucker, people like Candice, people like there are so many people who are now like no longer pro-Israel. They're like pro-America. It's like, okay, why are we pro-Israel? Why can we be pro-America? Because we are Americans, which for me I think is logical. I can never be pro another country over my country. I'll always be pro South Africa. Every day, anytime. I'll always be pro South Africa. No, there was no weapon that was discovered before the strike. So the only weapon that was found there is the Tomahawk, which is the American um, missile. And first, the Americans tried to downplay. They were like, this is one thing that it's very interesting about the American government, which makes you question their competency, right? These people, especially Trump said something like, Trump said, um, when the Tomahawk was discovered, right? Trump said America is not the only country in the world with a tomahawk. This is what Trump said. He said, so the incident is still under investigation. So according to Trump, he was trying to pin the murder of those children in Minab against other countries, right? But luckily the tomahawk, remember it was branded with the American flag. So it's clear that this tomahawk, it is directly from it's directly from America. It is the American tomahawk. So they couldn't argue further that, oh, it could have been any other country, not necessarily like the United States. They failed to argue further. So now they are coming with a new strategy by saying, or a new defense, that, oh, there was a military base near the school. No, no, no. I agree with you there. I agree with you. So that's what I'm saying. Like when the Ayatollah say the Americans cannot be trusted, not American people, the American leaders cannot be trusted. I do get what he was saying, because they keep attacking Iran without a valid. They don't have a valid reason, none so ever.
جلسات عمومی و سخنرانی ها مکرر گفتم من اعتمادی ندارم به اینا اعتماد نکنید.
He said American leaders cannot be trusted in the promises they make. I mean, they also betrayed their own people. The MAGA, which is the Make America Great, the Trump people, they were promised before Trump was elected that there will be no war. That's one thing that they agreed with Trump, that we are not going to have another war. We are going to focus on improving our country, developing our country further, and solving the problems that we have in our country. But what happened? Trump waged a war. Yeah, don't seem that smart. I don't understand. With regard to, which one?
به اینا اطمینان به حرفشون به قولشون به امضاشون.
He emphasized that I even said don't trust when they smile. We are currently having, I mean, that is true. A lot is going on in the world, right? I'm not even going to shy away from that. A lot of things are happening in the world. A lot of things. So many things are happening in the world. But who's to blame for all the wars that are happening today? Who's to blame? Iran? Are you blaming Iran? Is Iran committing genocide in Gaza? It's so very interesting, like why people can never like just hold like Netanyahu and his followers accountable for literally everything they like all types of crimes they have committed. I don't understand why. Like I don't get it. I don't understand.
به لبخندشون اعتماد نکنید، اینا مورد اعتماد نیستن. خب حالا نتیجه این شده که مسئولینی که اون روز مذاکره میکردن خودشون امروز دارن میگن آمریکا غیر قابل اعتماده. از اول بایستی این غیر قابل اعتماد بودن رو
And you know, again, the war waged against Iran doesn't make sense because Iran has always been available to negotiate literally anything with America. They have never said no. They have negotiated since 1953 with America, always. But the American leaders, they somehow just, I don't know, they just want to attack this country.
نمیگم درباره مسائل مورد ابتلا و
And he repeats here, he's saying, we are not saying don't have a relationship with the American people. Our fight is not with the American people. Our fight is with the American rulers. He said this. We don't say don't have contact with them, which is reasonable, of course. Of course, because as human beings, we understand on the ground, right? On the ground, let me say on the ground, right? Even with the Israelis, for example, not all Israelis are bad. That's the truth, right? Not all Israelis are bad, but majority of them are bad, but not all. Not all. Not all. There are Israelis who have been condemning the genocide in Gaza. There are Israelis who are against any war that Israel has waged in the Middle East ever since it was made a state. There are many Israelis against Netanyahu. There are many, but not as many compared to those who are for Netanyahu. That's what I'm saying. This is what the Ayatollah is saying. We don't say don't have contacts with them. He's saying we're not saying don't have relationships with the American people. Because why? We don't have problems with the American people. Our problem is with the American rulers, American leaders.
اینها ارتباط نداشته باشید لازم نه بالاخره
We need to, as a government, to have contacts and relations. But it's not an
دولتی هستیم حکومتی هستیم الحمدلله مقتدریم توانایی داریم.
He's saying also that we do want to have a relationship with Americans. Them, even the IRGC, we want to have a relationship with Americans. But the issue is one, trust issues.
بحث در این نیست، بحث در این است که به اینها با چشم بدبینی نگاه کنید. اینها
You must look at the Europeans from a pessimist point of view. That was it. So, according to the Ayatollah, right, before I go to the South African chant of kill the farmer, kill the Boer. Wait, is it kill the Boer or kill the farmer? I agree with you there, 100%, no but. I agree with you. I do. I do agree with you. But now we have a huge problem in the world that, I mean, I do see a lot of videos, right? The thing is, like, sometimes with the Israelis, mostly the ones who tend to go abroad, right? Not all. They get nowadays, not nowadays, since from last year or 2 years ago, when Israelis travel around the world, they get chased out of restaurants, right? They do. They get humiliated, they get chased out of restaurants. Some of them, I can say, they do deserve because they have this tendency of not acknowledging the Palestinian state. When people say Palestine, they'll be like, "What is Palestine? What is Palestine? It doesn't exist. That state doesn't exist." You see, that is wrong because, in as much as they want Israel to exist, they must also acknowledge other states like Palestine exist, Lebanon exist, Iran exist. All of them they can exist and live in peace and harmony. But I don't know, many of them they have this tendency of trying to I don't know to make Palestine disappear from the map or from people's brains because wherever they go they'll be like, and also for me it doesn't make sense, right? If you're in a foreign country, you are there as a tourist. If you find the locals waving their flags, free Palestine, you as an Israeli, you are there, you are in that country as a tourist. You're not there to meddle in the politics or whatever, right? So people with conscience they will understand why the world is marching and chanting free Palestine. So the problem with many Israelis is that when they live abroad, they attack people. Like when they find people, local people protesting free Palestine, they want to be people. Mind you, you are in a foreign country. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. These people are in their country, they can chant whatever they want to chant. If you feel uncomfortable, you can walk away, leave that vicinity and go elsewhere. That's how it is. But many of them are very aggressive. Many Israelis are many, not all. Many are quite aggressive, but definitely not all. There are good Israelis out there, very good Israelis. And also, we need to stop associating Israelis with the Jews because those two things are different. Because some people they tend to say like, oh, Israelis are the Jews. Not really. There are Jews in Palestine. There are Jews everywhere in the world. In Europe, there are Jews like there are Jews everywhere. Israelis are Israelis. Let's just say Israelis, not the Jews. Those are different people. Okay, so now we're going to. This is something that's happened. Like it does happen in my country from time to time. Whenever there is a man called Malema, Julius Malema, when he goes on the stage to address his followers, there are times when he sings this song or he chants this song, which is kill the Boer, kill the farmer, right? So recently he was interviewed and he tried to justify his chants. And I think we can just listen to, again, the horse's mouth, right? First, we listen to the Ayatollah. Now we are going to listen the Ayatollah, regardless of religion or color. I agree with you. True, 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 true. It's the same thing with Nigerians, right? We can say, okay, Nigerians are drug dealers, right? Many of them are involved in different kinds of crimes, like human trafficking, drugs, and all of that. But we cannot say like, okay, now all Nigerians are drug dealers, and no, we cannot say it because it's not true. It's not a fact to say that. Now let's listen to
the State of the Nation Weekly
Malema.
Update, brought to us by our partners at Pace Car Rental. Now, this is a special time for Pace Car Rental. They are celebrating
The
their
man who
50th
keeps
anniversary,
chanting,
and they've got specials for
thanks.
you. Use our code SONA and you will get a
You're
special
welcome.
anniversary discount. Please support them. They help to keep us on the air, and we wish them another 20 years of prosperity. I don't know if I'll still be around then, but at least I know that they will. So,
I'm one of Nina's.
the question is,
Wait,
what's it
like
like
you're a
to have
Nigerian?
with Julius Malema? Well, I got to answer that question last week.
So
Now, you may have seen on
let's hear
social
what
media,
Julius
I was
Malema has to
invited
say.
to a intimate event, let's call it that, where JJ Tabani, the well-known media personality who was launching his podcast, and had Julius Malema as his guest. So here I was at this small event, and at not that I needed too much prompting. I was asked by JJ Tabani if I had a question for Julius Malema. So I thought of one, and let's have a look at some of how the exchange took place. I built a budgeting app with Base 44. Interesting.
You're from Northern Ireland.
The constitutional.
How is Ireland though? I wonder. How is Ireland? How is Ireland?
Court in relation to the song, if you are referring to the song, because you may not know the difference between a policy and a song. That's white privilege, of course. People will not even think you will not know the difference because you are white and
good. Let's hope nothing changes, right? Let's just hope whatever that's happening in the world doesn't affect Ireland.
Inform. The Constitutional Court has said it agrees with the Supreme Court of Appeal. The originality of the song has never meant anything literal. The song has always referred to the system.
I have said this before, but I got attacked. Some people they thought that I don't know, maybe I am ignorant or whatever, but I also don't believe in a thing called white privilege. Because, like we said, right, we cannot generalize that all white people are privileged. There are many white people who are privileged, but there are also many white people who are not privileged. That's the reality. So let's hear this man what he has to say. Like, what is his justification for chanting "kill the Boer, kill the farmer"?
Not individuals. There is no farmer that's going to be killed by the EFF because Mugabe did not kill any farmer. Thabo Mbeki did not kill any farmer. Nelson did not kill any farmer. Yet they sang this song. Again, because of your privilege.
But you know, one thing that I don't know if maybe Malima is being intentional sometimes when he say things, or maybe indeed he's just ignorant altogether, or maybe he just doesn't care. Who knows? But now he's comparing himself to Mugabe, to Nelson Mandela, to Thabo Mbeki, and then he's saying, okay, Thabo Mbeki sang this song, Mugabe sang this song, Nelson Mandela sang this song, but they didn't kill the farmers because the song itself is not literal. It is just a song. It's a struggle song. No one is disputing that, right? I'm not disputing what he's saying, but considering the current constitutional dispensation or the democratic country that we are living in, which is a diverse country, right? For me, I think, this is my opinion, I think it is inappropriate and irrelevant to chant this song because whatever problems that are happening in South Africa have nothing to do with the Boers, have nothing to do with the farms. The problems that are happening in South Africa have everything to do with corruption in ANC, starting there. If maybe he was chanting another song that had to do with corruption, I think maybe I would resonate with him. But in this regard, I don't know. I just think it is inappropriate. This is my opinion.
May not know the history of the song.
People know the history of the song. This is the problem with people nowadays. It's like you cannot, just because something made sense 100,000 years ago, it doesn't mean it's going to make sense today. Things evolve. Human beings evolve. Things change. There's no apartheid in South Africa. There's no genocide in South Africa. So you cannot, like Nelson Mandela in his time, Mugabe in his time, Thabo Mbeki in his time, they were fighting an apartheid regime. So in his case, what fight does he have with the Boers and the and the farmers? Because first and foremost, even the Boers in South Africa are no longer even the Boers; they are the Afrikaners today, or just English altogether. We don't have like the Boers as the Boers in South Africa. We have like Afrikaners. So who is he chanting this song like to? Basic like actual nothing makes sense for me. I don't understand his reasoning.
I've seen how you engage your people. Come from an informed point of view. Don't come like you are politically informed, only to realize that no, you are just using your privilege to create an impression. So you want to kill a farmer? Start with me. You mean the colleagues we work with?
I don't think the chant about kill the farmer, kill the Boer, people like feel threatened in the literal sense that we will get killed. It's also about someone's let's say emotions, human emotions, right? It can offend people, right? It can offend people. Do feel offended by the chant. It's not about them fearing for their lives, like, oh, this person will come and kill me, but about offending people. And listen to what he's going to say after here.
Who are white, their children, and the comrades in the EFF, Carl Niehaus, must be killed. That's why Trump called them and they were like, where? Assisi. Who are fine. Because they know they are fine. So then why don't you stop singing the song?
Okay, that's the question.
Because I'm continuing with the struggle that was handed over to me by Nelson.
No. Which struggle? Which struggle is Maluma talking about here? Which struggle? Because this man doesn't even know what a typical black person is going through in South Africa. I can tell you that for a fact. He keeps telling South Africa, this is the same man who keeps calling South African lazy. And then now he's saying that he's continued the struggle of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela has never called his own people lazy. Never. He called Blessed Africans lazy, this man. And then now he's saying that he continues singing this song to continue the struggle that was handed to him from Nelson Mandela. This is the very same man who also said that Nelson Mandela was a traitor, a sellout. Why would you carry the struggle of someone whom you believe is a sellout?
You seem to have won that struggle. No, we didn't win. That struggle is the land. That struggle is the means of.
Okay, you are okay. Okay. Now he's saying the struggle is about the land. Then why is he not singing songs about the land? I'm sure there were struggle songs back in the days for the land. I don't think that song had to do with kill the Boer, kill the farmer.
That struggle is that the economic power must be shared amongst those who are here in South Africa working for this economy to be what it is.
Facts are your country of Africa did not evolve. The school system fails. Agree. The influx of African and Middle Eastern cultures, which are very different from modern Western culture, is unhinged. Um, when it comes to culture, right? I can say something. There is nothing wrong with African cultures. That one I can say, but the continent hasn't evolved. Oh, that one is a fact. Nothing has evolved in Africa. It is still stagnant as ever. Nothing has evolved. Schools, the school systems fail 100%. They do. Most parts of Africa, without a doubt, they do. But the culture, best believe me, has nothing to do with the problems happening in South Africa or in Africa as a continent. There aren't people fighting because of culture in Africa. The major problem in Africa that I can say, and I know many Western people can disagree with me, is that democracy doesn't work for African people. Black people don't know or no understand what democracy is, and you cannot be a leader of a civilization that you don't understand its origin, how it is supposed to function. It's impossible. It's impossible. You need to understand that the leaders, the African leaders, right? They are leading in democratic countries, in civilizations that were brought by colonizers. That's the problem. That's the problem. They don't know how uh, that civilization works. It doesn't work in Africa. That's the problem. I don't know. I think the major issue is democracy. Democracy doesn't work for us. And what is the way forward? At this point, if you ask me, for my country, is definitely to remove mm, greedy corruption, greed and corruption. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you there. I agree with you there. I had this conversation with my client today about my fellow Africans. I'm like, you know how embarrassing it is sometimes? I live abroad, right? I live in Thailand right now. I'm like, can you imagine an African person? You have a chance to live abroad, right? You have a chance to live abroad. Greed and corruption, yes. As an African, you have a chance to live abroad to better your life. But where do you get the audacity to get aggressive with the locals, especially in a foreign country, or to commit crime? I've seen my people do that. Sometimes I do wonder, like, I've seen videos there in Paris, actually, in France. In France, there is this one guy who was exposing um, scammers there. They're Africans. Not only in France, in Paris, actually, also in Japan. There are people who go around like trying to expose them. They get aggressive. They beat people. They want to beat, not beat. They haven't beat anyone, but they try to. But it's like they cannot do it because they're in public. So it's like they stand there, let's say in Paris, near the Eiffel Tower. They know there are many tourists there. They are standing there ready to rob people. That kind of behavior is barbaric and demonic. You cannot do that in a foreign country. I'm sorry, that's crazy. Like, that's insane. How do you even begin educating those people about like normal human behavior, especially when you are living in a foreign country? It's crazy. Oh, that one is needed very much. I agree with you. Lack of education. But here's the thing, many of them don't want to be educated. They want free things, easy things. So where are you going to even start with educating them? You know, I'm not good leadership is what is missing. Okay, 100% that one. There's no leadership in Africa. We just have corrupt people. Oh, those people are corrupt. I've never seen corrupt. When you look at Western leaders, right? They are corrupt also, but at least they develop their countries, right? And create opportunities for their people. In that way, even when they commit corruption, you won't realize because they create jobs, they build you big schools with ceiling inside, like big schools with sports. You guys even have parks. We don't have parks. It's crazy. You have parks. You know how important a park is? Like just going outside someday, it's weekend, you had a long week, you want to go to a park and just chill there, relax. We even have a good weather, in Africa. You chill there, but we don't have parks. We have taverns, pubs, places where people go and drink alcohol. That's why many people are alcoholic. There are no parks or some entertainment or like recreations. We don't have those things. We just have anything that makes someone rowdy, like taverns, pubs. Even teenagers, they start going to pubs at a very young age. Like teenagers go to pubs. Teenagers, teenagers. It's crazy. I agree with you. There's no leadership. They're just corrupt
So
idiots.
this is like a race without a finish line. No, no, there will be a finish line. If you hope it's not going to finish, wait for the EFF to come into power. We'll finish it. And
Malema is delusional. He's talking about. No, I agree with you. It's cack. It's nonsense. There is no leadership there. Malema is dreaming. He's talking about being in power. There's no power that this man will live to see in South Africa. He has betrayed South Africans like this. Like South Africans, they want nothing to do with Malema. Like that's just a fact. His movement. I never agreed with him from the beginning, but I thought maybe like he would somehow disappoint me. Like some people can disappoint you. But Malema is that one man in my life that has proved me right, that he has been a fraud all along, like a fraud. And one thing I don't like about the likes of Malema, right, is that they are trying to push this narrative that Black South Africans are against Africans. And that is not the reality. The reality is that South Africa has limited resources. That is a fact. South Africa has the highest unemployment rate in Africa. That is a fact. I mean, not in Africa, in the whole world. That is a fact. You understand? So you cannot, you cannot then say document all illegal immigrants. We are already saying we have limited resources. How can you document people? What human beings to live and to survive, they need jobs, they need schools, they need hospitals, they need like basic things, they need housing, education. Many of these people, they are already adults, like youth, maybe in their 20s, 30s, 40s. They don't have education, they don't have scarce skills. So now you say let's document these people, and then what are they going to do after you document them? There are many South Africans today unemployed, today without housing, today without beds in hospitals, today without spaces in schools. When I say schools, I'm not even talking about like the lower schools. I'm talking about like higher institutions, like universities. Universities, they do reject you today in South Africa due to limited, or they say constraints, how they say it there, space constraints or just space limitations. That's the reality. So these people are so detached to the reality of South Africa that they're trying to blackmail Black South Africans and trying to create this narrative that Black South Africans hate Africans. No, they're just saying, here's the thing, I'm living in South Africa. I don't have another country to go to and seek these things that you are taking away from me. These people that you're saying they must get documented, they have their own countries where they can go and get the same privileges that we South Africans are enjoying in our own country. How is that hating your fellow people? It's not hate, it's facts and the reality. Educate fellow Africans. Stop stop trying to 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 I don't know, pin them against black South Africans, because this is what our government is doing, and this is what our government has been doing for a decade. Many people who have never been to South Africa, they also have this misconception that black South Africans are xenophobic. They're not xenophobic. They're telling you that, guys, you guys will keep running from your corrupt countries to South Africa. And then who's supposed to go to your countries and fight your corrupt governments? Who? Black South Africans cannot go and fight the Nigerian government to function. They cannot go and fight Zimbabwean government to function. Our Zimbabweans can do that the very same way Black South Africans are doing in their own country to fight this corrupt ANC and EFF. But they don't want to talk about the realities and the truth. They don't. They are enjoying these freebies in South Africa, these free things. That's why they also fuel this narrative of xenophobia and the hatred of Africa. How can you hate people? Those people are not hated. It is even, what's crazier is that the very same people who ran away from their country, they come to your country and say you are lazy. But then you ask yourself a question. If you guys were very or were hardworking, why are your countries not functioning? Because countries that function, it means their people are working and they are doing the right things. Your countries are not functioning because you guys are lazy. And even in South Africa, they're not working. They want free things in South Africa: free schools, free hospitals, free clinics, free housing. I saw Somalians saying we also want RDPs. RDPs are free housing in South Africa. They say we want free RDPs. They want free things. And they tell that they are hardworking. You are hardworking, but you want free things. The very same things that you are mocking South Africans, who even actually pay tax for them. Unlike them, they don't pay tax for those things that they mock South Africans about. South Africans pay tax for the freebies that they enjoy in their country. For those benefits and the privileges, they pay tax for that. They don't pay tax for it. And if you pay tax, it means you are working. So that is another problem in South Africa. And why are South Africans or Africans, many of them are uneducated? It's because their leaders are people like Malema. That's their leaders. The likes of Malema, this is the people they follow. Let's listen to
You
him.
will still be here, my friend, and you'll be saying, "Oh, I never thought it would work like that," like you said after 1994. So, as you can see, we got into it, Julius and I, and it was more him talking and me listening. He was in full flow.
So it apparently Malema finished talking. I think there was another video where Malema mentioned something like his children has white friends, so why would he hate white people? Uh, make good where you are. Make good where you are. Live and let live. So many wants things for doing nothing. It takes years to accumulate knowledge. I agree with you. That is our reality in South Africa. It's our reality in South Africa. It's and these people our government protects, and now you see in South Africa there are ongoing marches, and those marches are not going to stop. That's the reality. South Africans have had enough of migrants because now migrants in South Africa they are kind of they support cheap labor, and this is another reality that people they don't want, or our fellow Africans they don't want to understand. Cheap labor, it means you replace one South African from employment, right? In South Africa there are without a doubt over a million people doing cheap labor. That cheap labor, that position was meant for a South African, but it is that job is taken by an illegal immigrant because that illegal immigrant offers cheap labor. You understand? So when South Africans they say foreigners are illegal immigrants are taking our jobs, they are talking about facts and reality. If today you remove all those illegal immigrants from those 1 million jobs, we are going to have 1 million South Africans employed tomorrow. We are going to have 1 million South Africans employed tomorrow, without a doubt. But they don't want to acknowledge that reality that cheap labor, which is fueled by illegal immigrants, is one of the major key factor with regard to the high unemployment rate. Cheap labor. Because in the past, cheap labor used to be how maybe housework like a nanny or maybe in the farms. Now cheap labor today in South Africa is in all industries. All industries. Restaurants, you will meet illegal immigrants. These small factories, illegal immigrants. Fast food, illegal immigrants. Truck drivers, illegal immigrants. There is no industry without illegal immigrants. So if I were to estimate the number of illegal immigrants doing cheap labor in South Africa, they are over even 2 million, if I'm not mistaken. They are over because they're everywhere, everywhere. In a voting block. True. So our government, they try to blind South Africans into thinking that, oh, there is nothing wrong with cheap labor. These people are here trying to make a decent living, but then at whose expense? No one is against Africans, making a decent living, but that shouldn't happen at other people's expense. It's impossible. It's like, for example, you trying to help your neighbor when you don't even have means to help yourself. Life doesn't work that way. There is no country that can function by just catering for outsiders while their own people are perishing. Either can be through drugs, through unemployment, through you are right, because in South Africa many of those people somehow they have fake IDs. This man who was talking today, Malima, was exposed that they will vote for us if we give them things. That's what's happening in the world. Mm. Mm. But the thing is, like, it doesn't work because it just causes um, distractions, and it just increases the crime rate also. In Ireland, there is also such an issue in Ireland. That's quite intriguing. So for me, what I can say about the chanting of Malema, kill the Boer, kill the farmer, I will say it's irrelevant, and it's insensible. Like, he said himself that his children have white friends, so he should start self-reflecting and ask himself, how would the friends of his children feel when they hear the father of their friend sing that kind of a song? Of course, they won't be happy. They will feel some type of a way. It's all about humanity. It's an Asian island. The problem also with mass migration that people or your government doesn't normally address is that when mass migration begins, right? For example, many people who go to these countries, let's say Africans, they do tolerate those petty jobs. But as years goes by, they start to get greedy. They are going to start taking up jobs that the 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 people in. Mhm. That's what I'm saying. Like, now they come as immigrants. It's the same thing that happened to South Africa. When they came, they did like jobs that maybe South Africans didn't want at that time. But as time went by, they started getting greedy. They went after jobs that South Africans were already doing. They displaced South Africa from those jobs. And then as times went by, now they want to be in politics, in the government. They want to lead South Africa. That's how people take over. That's how people take over. They take over, they go from beggars, the next thing you know, they are your leaders. So that's the problem with mass migration or illegal immigrants in countries. I'm not saying all are bad, but many of them don't have good intentions. They don't. So true, 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 true. That's what happens. That's what happens eventually. Eventually, people will take advantage. Eventually, it's this stupid nature that you will see in many people when they come. True. That's what I'm saying. Like we said, right? Not all people are bad. That's a fact. But their kind or the people who came the same way as them, many of them nowadays cannot be trusted. They come as beggars. Tomorrow they want to control you. They want to take everything that belongs to you. And when you fight back, they start calling you names. You're anti Semitic. You are racist. You are xenophobic. You know, they start throwing names at you so that you can seem as though you are the bad guy while they are the actual bad guys. That's how they conquer. That's how they conquer. That's how they conquer. Trust me. Do you think Israel would have like in every kind of religion type or creed? Oh, those ones, they're the worst. They are the worst. They are the worst. They are the worst, worst, worst people on the planet. I don't understand their nature. I don't. You know, I listen to Netanyahu. I listen to what is his name? Ben Gavir. I listen to the ministers of Israel. I'm like, there is also rabbi, this rabbi who has been um, promoting the genocide in Gaza. I want to listen to them. Wait, let me find that rabbi. I don't know what his name. Must take over. What is that? Palestine. There is this rabbi. He's a very popular rabbi. Very popular. Like they don't even. They're not even ashamed to say these things. Yeah, they're not ashamed to say this. Like I listened to that rabbi. Like he was saying it. They wow. I don't know if I can find. He's a very popular rabbi. It could be him. He's very close to Netanyahu. Very very close to Netanyahu. I saw his video not long ago. Him saying that. Oh, I cannot find him now. Because there are different kinds of rabbi. There are rabbis who are against the Zionists, and there is this one rabbi who is very popular, who is pro Israel. Oh, I cannot find him now. He's not, I don't think he's not chubby. He's just this rabbi who he be saying things like they talk about, this um I don't know, this ethnic cleansing. They saying that the whole of the Lebanon and Palestine, that whole place is given to them by their, I don't know who gave it to them, and they must take over. It's crazy. Yeah, that rabbi scared me. I don't want to lie, and he's very respected by Netanyahu. Like he's very close to Netanyahu, that rabbi, and he's popular in America. American, like, cause I've had Candice or some, yeah, I think it's the rabbi that Candice once said. I don't know, says some things about Candice. I need his name. Oh, there is this one video solved. They say Rabbi explains why Candice and Tucker are hijacking Jesus' message to hate Israel. Maybe it's this one. But that one, he was like, he's the Orthodox one. Like, he dresses like an Orthodox Jewish Jew. We're living in a crazy world, trust me. But what I wanted to talk about, actually, I'm done. I'm finished. For those who want to learn more about the chants of kill the Boer, kill the Boer, kill the farmer, I will say again, it's useless, it's irrelevant, just doesn't make sense. Considering the current state of South Africa. As for death to America, that one is clear that it is not directed towards the American people, but the American rulers who always go after Iran. That's it. And yeah, that's all. And thank you very much, Paul. I appreciate you. Yes, thank you very much. Bye bye. I appreciate you. Thank you, Paul. Bye. Bye bye. Have a good evening. I don't know what time is it there, but good night. Bye.